everyone. Welcome to Free Advice Friday. I am here with Dr. Murphy and this thing's on. Okay. Just want to make sure.
Call IT.
So we've got a question today that was submitted by someone who watches Free Advice Friday and some of our other videos. So I thought I'm not going to read the entire question because you already read it. I'm just going to run through kind of what it's about. So,
who's it from?
Well, I don't want to say her name.
Don't say her first name.
She knows who it is. Because what if she's a patient, I think.
So?
You don't want to say her name.
Kaylee.
We're not saying her last name. So
No, we're not saying her whole name. I'm just saying her first name. She knows who she is.
Well, hello. Thank you for submitting a question.
Yes.
And by the way, if
you're the only one that has so far. And
no, we've
I want to
had
thank
others.
you for being the only one that watches these dopey videos
if you
that
guys,
I don't like doing.
If anybody has questions they want to submit, you can also submit questions. Sometimes people will even just stop me in the hallway
Or if you don't
and say, "Hey, will you ask Doc this?"
I know. I get that asked all the time.
So people do submit questions. What is it, Dr. Murphy?
In person.
Okay.
I can answer them. I don't have to come in here in this room and do this.
You know, people have been watching this for a minute, 30 seconds, and they are dying for us to get to it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I apologize to all you people. I've wasted your time.
Okay.
I've wasted your life.
All right. So the question is, what is your opinion of the CDC coming out saying masks are increasing the number of COVID? I've worked in a COVID unit at a hospital. I've worked next to coworkers who had symptoms, ended up being positive for COVID. We're both wore masks equals low exposure. I get tested twice a week. I'm still negative. Who can even listen to the CDC, who literally change their minds daily? And then I want to make sure I don't miss anything. She says hospitals are filling up and nobody cares. So she's frustrated. I think a lot of people in the healthcare system are frustrated.
I'm gonna help explain all this.
Okay.
But we're gonna need to pause this video a second. So Michelle left to get me a mask because she has an important question. They're all wearing masks, but what is the problem? Here's the problem. I'm walking into my favorite neighborhood store. I'm not going to mention any names, but it looks like this for the first letter. Okay? All right?
Why not just say Walmart?
I didn't say that. Don't say that. I didn't say that. Okay? So I'm walking in the store and I'm carrying this because he wants you to wear them. They have security guards there now. They're like, yeah, wear a mask. Yeah,
do they really?
Yes. They're not armed, but they don't. Okay, so
how do you know?
Because I looked for weapons. They're not wearing any.
You said, how are you going to back this up?
Well, a couple of the people I saw were bigger than me, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'll take a mask. So anyhow, I pulled a mask out of my pocket that's been in my truck for a week now, right? And I put it on, okay? Then I go through the store, and I see people wearing their mask like this. I'm wearing a mask, but this ain't doing you any good. Then I'm grabbing the shopping cart, touching the groceries, touching this, touching that. I'm like, oh, it's down. I got to raise it up. Oh, I have COVID on my fingertips. I just put COVID around my nose. And guess what? I am getting to get the coronavirus because I'm wearing my mask like this. This is insane, okay? These work in the OR because the first thing we do when we scrub in, and I've went through this 1,000 times, we scrub into the OR. First thing we do, we put on a hair bonnet. We put on our mask, and then we scrub our hands and our arms, and we can't touch anything for the next couple of hours while we're doing surgery. This is all sterile. We didn't go to Walmart. We didn't take a break. Oh my God, it's Walmart.
Do you have to wash up before you touch your face and mask, or can you touch?
You can't touch anything afterwards.
Well,
the only
I guess
thing you
what
can
I'm
do
saying is,
when you get done scrubbing in, and I go in there and those nurses are slapping the gloves on me and I'm getting gowned up, I lay my hands on the patient and I can't remove them. They are there for the remainder of the surgery. I can't touch anything unless it's sterile, okay? This is no longer sterile. This is not doing me any good. Sooner that I touch something and put my mask on, take my mask off, put my mask on, take my mask off. It's been in my truck for a week. This has been my truck for a week without this one, but
yeah,
I have.
And I haven't seen a single soul who's not constantly touching their mask.
Yeah, and why?
And me too. I mean, I know you're not supposed to.
Our city and local governments, and even some physicians in this area who are, I don't know, have something to do with hearts, can't seem to quite grasp this concept that this is reality out there in the public. This is not your hospital. This is not your OR. This is not where you operate. This is the real world. It ain't helping, man.
Yeah.
So why?
What about all this droplet stuff, though? It's like, yeah, but people say, well, people said you can't get COVID from touching things. It's from the droplets.
Well, droplets are on stuff, and it lives on stuff. We've proven it works. It lives on stainless steel. It lives on plastic. It lives on plastic vegetables. It can live on vegetables. It can live anywhere. It's a virus.
Yeah.
It's an animal. It can live anywhere.
Yeah.
The one place it can't live, sunlight. You put it on a stainless steel pan, leave it in the sun for 10 minutes, it's going to be dead.
Yeah.
Can't live there.
Yeah.
So that's why seasonal flu, okay, just like viruses, flu viruses, influenza viruses, different viruses we get inoculated for, which really don't work that well. We don't get them there in the summertime. We're outside. Inside, closed spaces, closer contacts. Just avoid people. Stay as far away from them as you can. This ain't really doing it much. This is actually probably more protecting you from them than you are to them.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did I answer her question?
I think so. I think mostly it was just, I think the frustration with the CDC, how can you believe anything they say at this point?
You can't. This is a government agency, okay? They can't fix the post office. They can't fix Medicare. They can't fix Amtrak. They can't fix Social Security. They can't fix anything.
Yeah.
We are on our own.
Well, and she even said, she's like, she says it's just crazy because you could not know you have it, be running around. Oh, you got a phone call. And you going to answer it?
Nope.
Okay. But I think mostly the frustration is it's absolutely terrifying to just run around and be like...
It is, because you don't know what to believe.
What's real, what's not. And you know what I've been getting stressed out about lately, I'm going to touch that real quick to wake it back up, is just I don't feel sick, but just the way the world is right now, I get nervous too. I'm just like, what if I have it and I don't know it? And what if I, so it's just
and that just reflects your age. I lived through the Hong Kong flu, the swine flu, the H1N1 flu. I've lived through all these things, okay? Yeah. And they were worse than this thing is. But this is novel. Everybody makes a big deal about novel.
Because it's new,
undiscovered. I got news for you. It's been around a while. Mm-hmm. It's been around for, I don't know, 500,000 years. So we've already been exposed to it. SARS, MERS, had it, done it. So it's here to stay. And yes, people are going to die for it. We can test for it. We know who has it. The one interesting study I read, which was really phenomenal, and I think the last count in Missouri, there's like 1 or 2 million people. This one epidemiologist who I really liked, he said, take who's tested positive and multiply it times 10. And I'm like, ooh. That's probably a more realistic figure. So I think there's, in the state of Missouri, there's probably about 8 million people that have had it already. That's not reported. Why? They didn't even get tested. Not everybody goes and gets tested. So I think they're predicting doom and gloom on the horizon through the winter months. I don't think it's going to be that bad, but cross my fingers, hope for the best.
Well, even if it isn't as bad as what they're saying, it sure feels like it, just because of the way that it's reported. It's all people talking about. In fact, that's all we're talking about. That's all there is to talk about. That's all anybody wants to talk about.
I know. And this is funny, because Michelle would probably remember this, that I'm like, 2020, the worst year of our lives, right? I said the only thing we can happen is we can have an asteroid strike or an earthquake. And what happened about 2 or 3 days ago? Asteroids circling the Earth. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, it's 2020. So what? It's going to strike the Earth. Yeah, that's okay. You got COVID. So relax. You're going to be fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's the story.
You're eventually going to get COVID.
We're all going to get it.
We're all going to get it. It's just like we all had chicken pox when we were young. So we'll get through it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that the elderly are susceptible to it, but it's nature.
It's
protect them.
Yeah.
Be safe around them. And, I have people that come in here. I typically don't wear a mask when I'm in with patients, but when I walk in the room, they're like, Dr. Murphy, I have I know your mom take care of it. Would you mind wearing a mask? Not at all. I'll go get a new one. I'm not going to get the one out of my truck that's been sitting there for a week that I've worn at Walmart like most people do. I'll get a new one and I'll put it on out of respect for them. Do I think it's doing a whole lot of good? Not really. But here at our clinic, we have always sanitized, disinfected our handles, our door handles, our furniture. We've always done this.
In between every patient.
We haven't changed anything.
Front,
We've been
front
doing
lobby.
this from the beginning. Yes.
It's a very clean environment.
I think we've taken a little bit more precautions to where we keep our front doors wide open now, which...
So no one has to touch any door handles?
Yes. So I really don't kind of like, but we do. So, yeah, it's kind of keep the crazies out, but we do. So I can take that risk.
Cool.
I hope that helps you.
All right. Well, if it doesn't, write us, let us know.
Yeah,
and we'll...
and have me clarify it for you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's pretty well everything on that. Hope that was helpful.
And,
Free advice.
and you know, the CDC guidelines are just confusing to us doctors.
They're not sure yet. That's just the thing.
No.
It's going to change
It's
constantly.
evolving
Yeah.
as we go along. And rightfully so. We still don't really truly fully understand this virus and what it's going to do.
Yeah, probably be a while before we do.
Yep. And once we get it all figured out, we're wrong.
Yeah. All right.
Have a good Friday.
Have a good one. And we will see you on Monday for Mythbuster Monday.